The pension fund initially calculates all periodic benefits in US dollars, and every beneficiary is initially on the US dollar track. The US dollar track amount is then adjusted over time following the movements of the official US Consumer Price Index, or CPI, regardless of where in the world you reside. You can request the fund to pay your benefits in any of its payroll currencies and still remain on the US dollar track. If you live outside the US, the purchasing power of your US dollar track periodic benefit will tend to fluctuate due to movements in the exchange rate and inflation in your country of residence. However, if you want to protect the purchasing power of your initial periodic benefit in your country of residence, you can choose to be paid under the Pension Adjustment System, also known as the two-track system. The fund provides the two-track as an option, and you are not obliged to utilize it. But once you make the choice and it has been implemented, the decision is permanent and irreversible for your periodic benefits. How does the two-track work? If you are paid under the two-track system, two sets of calculations, namely the US dollar track and the local currency track based on your country of residence, will be established and compared every quarter using the UN quarterly exchange rate. Generally, the higher value of the two will be paid to you for that quarter, subject to a specified maximum and minimum. If the value of the US dollar track far exceeds the value of the local track, the amount payable under the two-track system could be capped at a maximum, which is lower than the US dollar track, and therefore lower than the amount you would have received had you not opted for the two-track. On the other hand, you will never be paid less than the local track, and as a result, your purchasing power in your country of residence will be protected. You're also guaranteed to receive at least 80% of the US dollar track, limiting the downside risk. How is the local track amount calculated? The initial local track is determined by converting your initial dollar track amount on your entitlement date into the local currency of your country of residence, using the average UN exchange rates for the previous 36 calendar months, increased by a cost of living differential factor, if applicable, and including your month of separation. The initial local track amount is then adjusted following the movements of the CPI in your country of residence. How do you know if the two-track is beneficial for you? Before opting for the two-track, you should first review a two-track estimate. If you are a retiree who separated after 2015, you may be able to run a two-track estimate in your member self-service account after you start receiving your monthly pension benefit. If this feature is not available in your MSS account, you can contact the fund for an estimate. The estimate will show whether the two-track is beneficial for you, but only as at the time of your request. Depending on future inflation and exchange rates, the two-track might be beneficial during certain time periods, but less beneficial during other periods. How can you apply for the two-track? To apply for the two-track, you must submit a completed Declaration of Country of Residence form, pence.e/10, to the fund with your current proof of residence. You must reside in that country for at least 6 months of the year. For more information, visit unjspf.org.